Disclaimer. The following video is an accurate description of a disturbing crime in explicit detail. Please, if you are sensitive to disturbing content and or get easily triggered, please do not watch this. Thank you. What you're about to hear are true life events that took place that led up to the tragic murder of 53-year-old Robert Wilson. Kiyran Earnshaw, 18, of Field Lane, Batley, and Luke Gaukroger, aged 16, from Arthur Street, Huddersfield, were both sentenced at Leeds Crown Court today after pleading guilty to the murder of a 53-year-old Robert Wilson in Linthwaite on January the 16th, 2020. He suffered fatal injuries in the attack and was given CPR but could not be saved and was later pronounced dead at the scene. His colleague, who was 39 years old, suffered serious injuries and was rushed to the Leeds General Infirmary, where he is undergoing treatment. Police have confirmed 5 arrests have been made, with 1 woman and 4 men being held on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. Mr. Wilson, who worked as a supervisor on night shifts at the site, lived in Birstill, and his family was too upset to speak today. Luke, who, I'm going to remind you again, was 16 years old, and Kiyran, who was only just 18, took it in turns to attack Robert Wilson using a 20-inch samurai sword outside the Thornton and Ross pharmaceutical plant in Huddersfield in January. I'm yet again quickly just going to give you guys another disclaimer. If you're sensitive to explicit details of violent crimes, then please click off now, because this gets really dark, really disturbing. So it starts off like this. Earnshaw pulled a blue sword from in his tracksuit bottoms after the security guard, or as we know him, Mr. Wilson, they thought he was recording him, so this is apparently why they thought they had to pull a machete out. Earnshaw actually thought he was being recorded. So Earnshaw pulled out a blue samurai sword from inside his tracksuit bottoms and launched a frenzied and senseless attack on a man who, 2 versus 1, he was pretty unable to defend himself, especially with something like a samurai sword. But the other person, I'm not going to say child, because he's not a child. He did something which, is quite adult, but for some reason, a lot of people wanted to treat him as if he was just a lost child. But Gaukroger, who was then 15, was heard shouting on a recording, "Get his head, I want to cut his head off." This is a 15-year-old. A 15-year-old. Do you know what I mean? This is stuff they do. This is stuff ISIS do in Syria, and this is happening here in this country. This is what our youth is doing. It's just really disturbing. But before police arrived at the scene and found the pair attempting to decapitate the victim, the night shift supervisor, who was with colleagues Paul Thewlis and John Badejo, was heard on a phone call recording to a security firm, pleading with the youth to stop. Mr. Badejo was seriously injured as he tried to help his friend who stood up to the teens, and both men were forced to flee for their lives. Mr. Makepeace said the pair paused at one point to catch their breath and to rifle through Mr. Wilson's pockets, taking his coat. So not only have they now launched a violent, frenzied attack against an elderly man, they've also robbed him after leaving him for dead. Eventually, Mr. Wilson got to his feet and ran before collapsing onto his front in a parking bay. Earnshaw then kicked Mr. Wilson in the chest before stamping on his skull 5 to 6 times. Earnshaw continued to stab him until Gaukroger demanded the blade. He stabbed Mr. Wilson with 11 full force blows, starting on his back and moving towards his head before handing the sword to Earnshaw. Both were determined to make Mr. Wilson suffer, and Earnshaw even chopped at Mr. Wilson's neck to try and sever his head. The attack was relentless, and it wasn't until police arrived on the scene that the pair fled. but neither got away, and amazingly, during their arrest, both asked the questions, why were they being detained by police? A post-mortem of Mr. Wilson revealed that there were 100 sharp force injuries to his body, mainly to his head, neck and upper body. So this wasn't just a self-defense thing. We thought we were getting attacked or whatever. You've violently attacked someone, stabbing them over 100 times, and then tried to cut their head off, and then tried to go through their pockets to steal from them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what our youth is doing today. This is what the youth thinks is okay to do. And look, I've heard a lot of news sources blaming drill. I don't think it's down to drill music. I think it's down to the parenting. I think it doesn't matter what music you listen to. If you were brought up right and with the right moral values, you know exactly right from wrong at the end of the day. If you've got empathy, if your parents have taught you to have empathy, you couldn't even do that without feeling fucking awful. The brutality of the murder understandably devastated Mr. Wilson's family, which it would anyone's family. But what is perhaps more unnerving is that Gaukroger went on to write a sickening rap bragging about the murder of Mr. Wilson. So now I'm going to get into the rap that Gaukroger actually wrote. Bear in mind, keep this in your mind, people, that he wrote this on May the 1st. So this was after he'd already been caught for doing the crime. So we know this is about the same thing. There's no, but he could just be, he's creatively expressing himself. No, he's not. He's documenting the events that took place. Anyway, I'm going to read the lyrics now. I really don't want to. It's actually quite disturbing. Okay, I'm going to do it. It starts off with, dip him, leave him dripping, now my shoes are floating in a pool. Burn my kicks, burn my Calvins after, burn that fool. Get round there trying to turn man ghost. Yo, I'm trying to turn man to a ghost. How is he 18 and still fucking girls that go to school that night? Now we know this isn't about Mr. Wilson, because obviously Mr. Wilson is 53, so this can't be about him. Everything from this point on is, in my opinion, now about Mr. Wilson and the situation that happened. I was chilling with Kai, we was trying to bill it, but we had to kill it. Big man tried beefing, so we had to kill it. We was wetting my man up for like 10 whole minutes, chefing him, and feds turned up, so we had to turn. Yeah, we tried to tow, but we got nicked on the scene with a bag full of cho, pepper spray and taser twice for Kai. Fuck the popo, free me and the guys. Before we wet man up, we don't think twice. In the jailhouse I'm nice, can't wait till I'm free drinking Henny with ice. I hope this person never gets released. This person, right, Luke Gaukroger, is apparently doing life. He's not doing life if it's 20 years. He's going to be out when he's 36. 36? He hasn't lost much of his life, has he? He's murdered someone. He has brutally murdered someone, and they've let him get off with 20 years. The criminal justice system in the UK is wrong. I think crimes like this deserve the death penalty, and if we don't want to do it in this country, send him over to America and see what they say about it when they put him on trial, because this country's justice system is a joke, people. The fact that he will be 36. He will be 36 when he grasping that age, 36. That's double 18. That's nothing. That is nowhere near enough time for the crime that has been committed here. That is, I'm sorry, but that's disgusting. We have got more of the rap, which I'm going to get into now. The rest of the rap goes like this. Sitting in the dock, trying to show remorse, but I don't feel it and I can't even talk. Can't chat to the judge Like, I'm sorry, I was too fucked. Didn't mean to catch a body. In all honesty, I wouldn't mean it though. Fake apology just to be at home. It wouldn't work though, 'cause I killed a guy with a big long Sammy. Not a kitchen knife. My Cody sat up in Doncaster. Free my guy Kiyran, he ain't no actor. He got nicked with class A's as well, both bagged on the scene. But we won't tell, nah, we will never snitch on each other. I just want to add something in there as well, which I've just realised I did forget to include so far in this video. They both had class A's on them, I believe Xanax and another drug. I'll put it up on screen now, because I can't actually think of what it is at the moment, but I know that Xanax was definitely one of the drugs that they had on them. But yeah, I'll carry on. You got nicked with the class A's as well, both bagged on the scene, but we won't tell, nah, we will never snitch on each other. To you, he's a psycho, to me, he's my brother, and trust me, it worked the other way round. If I heard he had beef, I'd put a pagan in the ground, but now I'm sitting in pen looking at 15, won't see him again, or I might get hit with less, but still 10 years is stress. If it gets dropped down to manslaughter, it says get with a 10, but you know what these judges are like. They don't really understand the lyrics properly of the youth, so I feel like it was probably some slang word in there which they didn't understand, so they just thought what they put it would they put what they thought it would be. So I feel like that's what's happened there. But that was the rap that Luke Gaukroger actually wrote after committing this murder. Now, I don't know if Kiyran has any part in writing this, if he's written any part of it, or if he knows that Luke has written this. I did actually try and get a statement from Luke Gaukroger's family, but I couldn't actually manage to get a reply, so... Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys something now, and I just want you to keep this in your head for when it comes up. The rap that Gaukroger had written was called No Remorse. So now listen to this. Mr. Greeny, who was one of Gaukroger's solicitors, said that Gaukroger's dreadful lyrics may appear to glorify the murder, but he instead insisted that the 16-year-old had expressed remorse to a probation officer and in a letter to his instructing solicitors. Mr. Greeny said the lyrics were a way of working through his immature feelings, and there was no evidence he had published the lyrics, which he would have tried to do if he was going to glorify the murder. However, this was not something the judge was willing to accept, and instead he viewed the lyrics as Gaukroger revelling in the offences. Right, in my opinion, that's perfectly true. How can you try and tell me that this child had remorse when he writ a rap song about the crime he committed called No Remorse? What? The solicitors don't have a leg to stand on. They don't. He should be in for longer. He'll probably get 10 on good behaviour, maybe 7. Do we really want someone like this back out on the streets? Do you know what I mean? You children go out and play. That could have been anyone. Just because it was an old man, it will most likely get overlooked. I guarantee if it was a 13-year-old boy, everyone would be on top of it. And that's the thing. Everyone knows that's true as well. And also, another thing which really, really gets under my skin. Earnshaw previously has history of knife crimes. Kiyran Earnshaw has stabbed a boy outside Colne Valley High School. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I don't really know how it's pronounced. And has taken a knife into school a few years before he killed Robert Wilson in cold blood and stabbed a colleague who tried to stop the attack. On September 6, 2017, Earnshaw stabbed another teenager during a fight outside the academy in Linthwaite. 9 witnesses provided police with statements, and Earnshaw later pleaded guilty to causing grievous bodily harm with intent and possession of an offensive weapon in a public place. He was made the subject of a 1-year youth rehabilitation order at a hearing in January 2018. Okay, so you're telling me I can go out there now, stab someone, commit GBH, and get a youth detention order. I do not care how old you are. You stab someone, you do an adult prison term. Standard. Why the fuck should we be, just send him to youth detention, make him do a bit of fucking community reparate. Fuck off. We don't want him in the community. We do not want him in the community. Have him sent to America and have him killed. That's what we should do. A life for a life. He has took away a father of 2 and a loving husband. Those kids, apparently, I haven't included this, but apparently on the website, I didn't really think it was that relevant, but on a website that I read, a news source, I can't remember which it was, I've been through so many in the last week trying to collect as much information as possible, but apparently his children were due to get married soon. Obviously not to each other, to their own partners, but they were due to get married soon. And now they're not gonna, what's his daughter gonna do? Her mum's gonna have to walk down the aisle with her now. Do you know what I mean? It is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And it just makes me so angry. We're getting on to the last bits now anyway. He was on a 1-year youth rehabilitation order at a hearing in January 2018. Just 6 months after that stabbing, he was caught with a Stanley knife blade in his school bag. The teenager was regularly searched when he attended the educational unit, and a member of the staff found the blade with masking tape used to make a handle in the zipped up pocket of his bag. He initially denied knowing it was there, but later said he used the blade at work and had forgotten to take it out of the bag. How can you not know the blade's there? But then, oh yeah, I know that blade, the one that I've made a handle with masking tape on so I can get better grip on it. Yeah, no, I used that for work and I left it in my bag. But then the next minute he's going, oh no, I didn't know it was there. This guy is a serial liar as well as he's a murderer. He is literally a murderer. He's took someone's life. He is a murderer. And it's the fact that he's only getting that much. When did life mean 20 years? Life means life. Life should be 100 years. So you have no chance of coming out. No chance. I mean, I apologise for getting worked up, right? But we can't keep allowing this as a society. We can't keep allowing these young lads to commit these knife crimes and then just slap them on the wrist for it. We can't do it. They need to get the same time as what adults get. Standard. In November that year, he was convicted at a youth court of possession of a bladed article on the school premises. And what did he get? Nothing. He got nothing for having that blade on him at school, where there's hundreds of other children, where there's staff members who, they don't know he got it on him until they searched him. Imagine if they didn't search him and he went on to fucking stab someone with that. Do you know what I mean? People like him should not be allowed in society, and it's insane because we're locking up people who are selling weed and giving them fucking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. We're giving these people who kill people fucking 10 to 15 to 20. How have we worked that out? How is... I'm getting worked up and I apologise, people, but this, I'm sorry, it's disgraceful, and it's just something that's hit quite close to home because obviously growing up in the Dudley/Birmingham borough, you hear about a lot of knife crime. There is a lot of knife crime, and it gets to the point where sometimes you can be, you know what I mean? You've got grown adults that are scared to leave their house because these youths are walking around with machetes and samurais and zombie killers and God knows fucking what else. It's disgraceful. Again, I apologise for getting so worked up, and that is all the information I could collect from the case. That was all the information that was publicly available. Like I said, I did try and get a statement from Luke Gaukroger's parents. They have not replied, which is understandable, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to talk about it if my son had done something like that either. I would just want to pretend I never knew him. So I don't blame them for, not replying. They haven't even replied to news sources, and I'm just a little channel, so you know what I mean. It's no surprise to me. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. If you've got any comments or you've seen any recent cases that you'd like me to cover or you want to know more information about, please just leave a comment. Let me know. I'll read it. I'll reply to you because, again, I'm only a small channel. So at this current time, I can reply to all my comments. So I don't have an excuse. But yeah, please, guys, give me some suggestions of cases you want to hear, things you've seen. Yeah, just anything, just any cases you want me to cover. Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more like this, I'm uploading every 3 to 5 days. Sometimes 2 if I can get the editing done quicker. But yeah, if you want more like this every 3 to 5 days, hit that subscribe button and put the bell on. I know everyone says it, but if you put the bell on, you actually get a notification of when I upload. And it means that my video will end up in your sub box. Because a lot of time they don't send, a lot of YouTubers have trouble with their videos not getting sent to sub boxes. And it's all to do with, you need to have your notifications on. And you need to have it on all as well. So, yeah. Like I said as well, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.